Hi everyone! In this video I will go over the filter system in FlopzillaPro. The filter system will allow you to narrow a range on the flop, after which you can move to the turn or river. If you have entered the range and a flop, then the possible ways for this range to hit this flop are listed here. For example, this range will hit top pair 11.6% of the time. To see this data in combos, press Tab for combo mode. And apparently, there's 81 hands that hit top pair. And the total number of hands in this range is 698. And this indeed matches the percentage of 11.6% that we saw earlier. Now let's say that we want to narrow this range to top pair or better. To do that, I will first reset these filters. And now I'll click on every single statistic that is top pair or better. And every stat that I click will get one of these blue filter symbols in front of it. And I have now set up the filter system to filter for top pair or better. Here on the filter button below, it says that this accounts for 143 hands out of a total of 698. Or, if we press Tab for percentage mode, 20.5% of the hands are top pair or better. Now at this point nothing has happened yet because the filters are turned off, and you can tell this by the little red light here. To turn the filters on, click on the filter button. And the little red light has now turned green, telling you that the filters are now activated. In the starting hand matrix, all hands that are now filtered out will turn grey. For the remaining hands, for each hand, the number of combos will be displayed in the lower left. Okay, let's filter for some more stats. Let's add flushdraws. Please note that if there's only one suited combo for a hand, then this will be displayed in the matrix as well. And let's enter some more hands that make sense here. An 8-out straight draw, and all combo draws. By the way, if you want to select multiple statistics, then you don't need to click every single one. You can just click one, keep your mouse pressed down, and mouse over everything that you want to select. To see exactly which hands are in a statistic, mouse over it. And a pop-up will show you which hands are in the stat. If you press Ctrl, then you can see the filter settings for each hand in the statistic. So I'm mousing over top pair, which has a blue filter in front of it, and indeed all hands that are top pair have a blue filter. If you want to make changes to how individual top pair hands are filtered, then right-click the statistic, and I can now move my mouse away from the statistic, and it will remain selected. And you can now set custom filter settings for separate hands. You can also apply a weight to a filter, so that it's only sometimes allowed to pass. For this, use the slider here. And click on the hands to which you want to apply the filter. If, within a statistic, a mix of different filter settings are used for the hands, then a custom symbol will be displayed in front of it. If you want to apply this weight to all hands in the statistic, then just set the weight and left-click the statistic. And a weight icon will now indicate that a weight is applied for the entire statistic. To remove this weight, click on the weight field. Let me close this pop-up. When mousing over a statistic, the other statistics will adapt and show their overlap with the statistic that's being moused over. So, out of the 81 hands that are top pair, 24 hands are also a gutshot. To see which hands are in the overlap, right-click top pair to fix its pop-up, and mouse over gutshot. And the overlap between top pair and gutshot is shown in orange. To see which hands are top pair but not a gutshot, press Ctrl. And now all top pair hands that are not a gutshot will be shown. To edit the overlap, right-click again. I will set a weight of 70% for the overlap. And these changes will be stored in both top pair and gutshot. So if I close the pop-up, mouse over top pair, and press Ctrl to quick-view the filters, then the changes have been made here. And if I mouse over gutshot and press Ctrl, then these same changes have been stored here as well. Multiple colors of filters are available. For this, switch to group mode by pressing this button. I will assign a green filter to the draws, and a purple filter to the combo draws. And here in the pie chart we now see the distribution into made hands, draws and combo draws. If you want to move beyond the flop, then you can enter a turn or river card in the board section. The turn card will be indicated with the letter T in its upper right, and a river card will be indicated with an R in its upper right. When you have selected the turn card, you will be able to define the filters for the turn in the statistics section. To activate these filters, press the Turn Filter button. And if you want to go back to look at the flop filters again, press the arrow key here. And press the right arrow to go back to the turn again. One filter type that we haven't discussed yet is this red cross. This is a delete filter. It explicitly tells Flopzilla to filter out a hand, regardless of any other settings in any other statistics. For example, I will remove all filters and filter only for top pair. However, I will set a delete filter for all gut shots. And now, if I mouse over top pair, then we see that all gut shots are deleted from the range. Another special setting is the Invert button. For example, if I set the filters to filter for top pair or better, activate the filters, and click on Invert, then only hands that are not top pair or better will be allowed to pass through the filters. And you can use this to, for example, set up a checking range by filtering for all strong hands and then activating the Invert setting, so that only the weak hands are allowed to pass through the filters. Now, what would happen if different filter instructions are given for the same hand? So we are in group mode, and in top pair I will assign a blue filter to 10-8 suited. But under gut shot I set a green filter for 10-8 suited. Let me turn on only display grouped hands. So, when there's such a conflict between two statistics, then the highest filter setting will win. So, given that green is higher than blue, the green filter wins and 10-8 suited will be assigned a green filter. And what will happen if I set a blue filter of 80% in top pair? But the same blue filter for 25% in gut shot. In this case, the highest weight wins. The only exception to these rules are flushdraws. Any setting in flushdraw will be considered to be more important than a setting in the other statistics, even if it has a lower filter or a lower weight. And this is because we assume that when you set a setting in flushdraw, this is of greater significance to you than a setting in one of the other statistics. Should you ever want a text string with the currently active range, then press Ctrl plus Alt plus T. And if you want the text version of the data in the statistics section, then press Ctrl Alt S. Finally, some bonus statistics are available. If you want to include one card backdoor flushdraws in your statistics, or a no flushdraw stat, then go to Options and turn on Also include one card backdoor flushdraws and also include no flush draw. And now these statistics will be added to the list. Here, one card backdoor flush draw high means that the highest card has the backdoor flush draw. So on this board with 2 diamonds, it means that for ace-king offsuit, the ace is the ace of diamonds. And one card backdoor flush draw low means that the king of ace-king offsuit will be the king of diamonds. So, that's it for this video on Flopzilla's filter system. I hope that you enjoyed this video.